Hello, pile number one. Welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here today. So, I was guided to do what others see that you don't about you. I wasn't originally going to do this reading, but I felt guided to. So, let's tap into the energy and see what's going on here. So I'm already feeling that you guys are really connected to your feminine energy. A lot of people outside of you would see you as quite feminine in your ways. And we have the 7th chakra. Archangel Uriel. Okay. Some people outside of you see you moving in really rigid ways. From what I see here, this isn't to do with this card. This is the energy. What I need to know about you before I read this card. Some people are really intimidated by you too. Some people have been feeling like they've been at a competition with you as well. But they're exhausted. There are some people outside of you who try to compete with you, and I don't know if you know this or not, but you're not really in competition with anyone. So they're kind of already chosen to partake in a losing battle when they do choose to compete against you anyway. Yeah, they are intimidated of you. Okay. So this is interesting. Some of you guys have been seeking out a relationship with Source. And I think this isn't going to be for everyone, because not everyone is going to agree with me. But if you're wanting to start to build a direct connection with Source, one that you can become fully conscious of, a step I would suggest that you guys first of all take is connect to love. I know it sounds cliche, but there is an actual reason why. Like, you know how everyone goes and talks about God being love, or choose love, or you hear the words love and light. That's because the God that is consciousness within all can be found or felt or connect to through what we call the feelings of love. That is true love. And you'll find that when you are connected to love, you don't run out of energy. You stay quite content where you are. You have no reason for fear. You realign to your own innocence. Everything, it works like a domino effect, yeah? So, you know, if you were to go back and look at examples, I know this has nothing to do with this, but it might tie back. But at the moment, it sounds like it's got nothing to do with this, but bear with me, yeah? If you go and look back at all the old-time monks and things like that, or spiritual masters, you'll probably look into them and you'll hear them being really, really happy. You'll see them at complete acceptance with pretty much everything that's going on around them, whether they're comfortable, whether it's viewed as comfortable or not by the world outside of that monk. That's because they're in alignment with love. So a natural consequence of love is radical acceptance for what is. Does that make sense? It does? The temple path. I get it. It does make sense, because this is kind of something that you guys have been going down. You're learning your own mastery form. That's what people are seeing within you that you might not see within yourself. People see your progress, and I don't actually think you see your progress as much as what other people outside of you perceive your progress to be. You're not internalizing things or congratulating yourself for the previous achievements, not to the degree that I think you probably should. That's probably because growing up you were quite underestimated. Like, when you were young, you probably felt in a drive of like confidence that was encompassing, I would say. And a lot of times in life growing up, you might have felt at times humbled in very harsh ways, which affected your confidence within yourself and your own abilities. So you kind of dulled yourself down. And a lot of what happened came through the feelings of humiliation. You keep a lot of secrets about certain things that you feel humiliated by. But people outside of you don't see that. Your spirit guide, the energies that support you or stand by you, are supporting you with healing the trauma of past humiliation, which is your block. I'm feeling a lot of release coming through the throat chakra right now. So you might feel waves of coldness over this next month to 2 month cycle from what I just saw. Moving into the next month. This is going to be you releasing adopted opinions of others about yourself that you've held against yourself and conditioned yourself with, which has only dulled your ability to kind of pursue your untapped potential. Now, funny enough, I just got redirected to this because I saw an energy source point down. So there's a guardian, which will be completely unique to all of you. So I'm sorry, I can't go into detail, but think everyone has a guardian angel, yes, or a unique connection to source, a higher self, a higher potential, and that's your guardian. We'll put it this way. That might not make sense, but regardless, this talks about the crown chakra being open. And when your crown chakra is open, it usually encourages a connection to divine source, your guides, your guardians, to energies, to things that exist outside of just the logical or rational mind, or you know, everyday experiences of the bodily senses. So you're going to find when you create stability within yourself about your authentic truth, with 4 and 1 being here. 4 is about stability and security. 1 is about the self. So this is telling me there's some growth that needs to go and or develop within when it comes to understanding your truths. So this is saying there might be a bit of shadow work coming up in the near future, or something that you might have been already doing. People aren't seeing this outside of you, and I don't know why your guides are bringing this up. Interesting. You got Sun in the 9th house, which is talking about boundless imagination and idealism. The more you can be truthful with yourself and create stability and security within yourself through self-awareness, which is an active practice. It's not something that you can just click your finger and do. That's called spiritual bypassing. You don't want to do that because it's not solid work. You want to get real with the nitty-gritty questions. You know what I'm saying, pile number 1? And then once you do that and you're clear with yourself, you'll find a new form of confidence within yourself, which is going to tap you into a new understanding or perspective shift. And this will probably feel a little bit, I saw like a silhouette looking into a mirror, and the mirror shattering. So there might have been, this has happened in the past, there might have been a little bit of an identity crisis, where you had a very big self-shocking realization that changed absolutely everything about you. So you went away and you did some self-work, and then when you came back, it's like you've been putting this into practice, and you're growing confidence in this now. But people outside of you are seeing you as boundless, and I think that's because you're not holding yourself to any sorts of limitations or conditions or bounds. It's more like you're discovering yourself along life's, alongside what life is providing you. And along the way, I just heard this clairaudiently. Your guys' clairaudience, it might be picking up. You might actually be starting to ground into your clairaudience if you're someone who has felt as though you resonate with that advanced sense. and you're starting to introduce it to the logical intellect. So you're starting to learn how it is that you can actually use your clairaudience actively. If you're not aware of how, I would probably encourage you guys to go and research clairaudience. Go and maybe Uncle Google, I don't know, some experiences around clairaudience, or even how to develop that. If you are curious about it, it might lead you in another direction that will help later. But we have Mercury in the 10th house, strategic in the public and career ethics. So you guys actually might be readers. You guys might actually be introducing a new spiritual gift into your practices or ways of everyday living in the near future. So that could be clairaudience, or the other thing that I'm feeling is probably claircognizance, with the 7th chakra being here. God, that one hurt. You guys have a little bit of a prejudgment against yourself when it comes to your mind, because I think the ways that you used to think in the past, you were kind of at, I don't know, odds with yourself and your ways of thinking, but there's been a balance that has been brought to the mind now, because I saw it like a brain, but then I saw the yin and yang symbol like spinning in the middle of the brain, and then it just stopped. So yeah, I think you guys have brought balance to whatever was going on in the mind, how you're working against yourself, and this is opening you up, so that's really good. You're going to be connecting with source in a new way, or understanding energy and your guides in a new way. You're releasing a lot of energy right now, because you're becoming aware of certain things that you might have even have been confused about. It's helping you to release energy. If you're not resonating with this right now, this reading is not for you. I apologize. You could maybe pick another pile, or maybe this is not a reading here for you today. Sorry. But for those of you who are still here and resonating with this, when I pulled up the message, there was 11:44 on the clock, so that might have a numerology message for you that's talking about your manifestations coming into a secure stability, first starting within, that you're then recreating outside of you, that is then taking on an independent form. So it's going to start manifesting like in material. But anyway, back to the reading. Angel of Strength. There's been a discipline over self's emotions, and also an intellectual understanding coming to your instinctual intellect. So that's your intuition. You've become fully self-aware here. Pile number 1. People see that outside of you, by the way. Like, people outside of you see how much you've grown and how disciplined you've become, how much you've changed your life, and how much potential you have. Because with the Angel of Strength here, we have the number 50, and you know, 0 is all about untapped potential, unlimited potential. There's a lot of meanings, divinity, but for this reading in particular with 50 here, this is about you choosing change. It's like you're no longer speaking about the change, you're becoming the change and witnessing yourself and allowing that potential to become you, so that you recreate that in your life around you. And people are seeing the true effects of how much you've developed yourself, how strong you've become. So let's try this deck before I move on to the next part. I'm so sorry, pile number 1. This is not really the way that I intended the reading to go when I first felt compelled to make this read. But I guess it's coming out for a reason, so I hope it's helping. How are people outside of pile number 1 seeing them that they don't see within themselves? So people outside of you see you as the master creator of your own destiny. People see you as evolved, and they see you as someone who has all the resources. I just heard you have a heart of gold. You might be really nervous right now. I don't know, because I'm really nervous, so it's in the energy. Perhaps you're worried that people are seeing you in really bad ways. Don't be worried. People are seeing you doing what's necessary. They see your growth, and they see that you're actually building practical results that they didn't first see when you first started the journey that you've found yourself on now. And that's what I'm hearing the most. Like, they're seeing practical results, because we have the earth element, and then we have the spider totem, which is building its home. So that talks about it being its creator of its own fate, using its own inner resources to create the life reflection that it wishes to live in. And with the web being completed at the end, the way that it has chosen to create also catches its food, which then helps sustain itself. So this talks about people saying that you're independently motivating yourself towards your results. You're doing this all on your own. You've found or led yourself somewhere that people could only have once imagined you being, or something about you self-fulfilling your own prophecy. I don't know. Sorry. This is awesome. We got Tiger and the Camel. Damn. Feminine totem. This, at least in this deck, and from the energy that I know of the Tiger totem, this is a very protective totem, and it's one of strength, discipline, and power. It's one that connects better at night, which is what makes it divine feminine energy. It connects to the moon cycles, and it moves in cycles, and it also learns through observation. So the tiger moves slowly. It's known as a stalker, you know, when it's hunting its prey. So it observes, it learns, it gathers information first so that it can then execute movement at the best possible time in the best possible way, because they've gathered all the information that they needed to know about the environment and how its prey, how its feed moves, you know. Sorry. People outside of you see you as someone who is really good at sticking to what they know, learning from the reflections outside of them, but also internalizing, because it's a moon cycle, it's a feminine energy. It's all about self-awareness of the inner world. So the tiger really knows its own strengths and knows when to move by the amount of information that it's gone to gather. So people see you as someone who independently seeks out answers and who independently disproves or proves information and what it is that they gather about inner resources and how it works with the outer resources. They see you as someone who can really go really, really far. Like, you're someone who can go without recognition, can go without, I don't know, a lot of what people would call necessities to get to where you want to go. But the thing is, you know yourself, so it's not like you depend on things outside of yourself to make what you are doing happen. It's more like you know what you're doing, you're set on what you're doing, you believe in what you're doing, and you're learning as you go, which makes you resourceful outside of you as it is. It means that it's like you keep motivating yourself towards what people would have said was the impossible. Quite truthfully, having the spider totem here, the tiger and the camel. So yeah, those are the messages that I have for you today, pile number 1. I could go on forever. The energy is quite limitless for you right now, so I definitely harness the potential of your creative abilities. Creativity doesn't literally have to be like in the form of art. Creativity is recreating your vision, your ideas, your hopes and your aspirations, your goals outside of you in whichever way that best resonates with you. So I hope these messages have come of positive service, and with all that being said, until next time, bye. Pile number 2, hello and welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I'm going to change the decks that I was using from the first pile because they didn't really go the way that I had originally planned it on going. I felt compelled to make this reading, but I really didn't expect pile number 1 to go down the road that it had. So, just aligning to your energy and seeing which deck is going to be best for this reading. Tea leaf, awesome, and the animal totems. You guys might need time to slow down or like, I don't know, spend time with yourself, because for some reason I feel like there's been a bit of pressure around you. a lot of distractions because I just got a headache. And it was really, really quick. So there's distractions that have been around you that is helping you to ignore the core truth of something that you might need to be acknowledging more of. Guilty conscience is the trauma. Okay. Okay. So there needs to be some form of shadow work, I believe here. This is for your own healing. Pile number 2. This isn't going to resonate with all of you, of course. Religion. And then inheritance. Okay. Maybe your beliefs have changed a lot recently, and there might be some certain forms of guilt that you might not be aware of that is subconsciously driving you. Guilt that you're probably carrying because of inherited beliefs that you were taught in the past, that you might have moved away from, that is against tradition or goes against what your family would say is good, maybe. I don't know. Perhaps you guys are just feeling judged by your family or misunderstood, or perhaps in the past you had to create boundaries with people that you once held really close. I don't know. It's an uncomfortable subject for you guys. So if you are willing, you know, stick around and we can do the shadow work together. But if this isn't something that you feel like you want to listen to, don't sweat it. You know, there might be another pile for you guys. Otherwise, you know, the collective energy that is here is that there are certain actions that have been put into place from the past that has created outcomes that kind of turned out bad, to say the least. They didn't turn out the way that they had been planned. I just saw a husky. Just know that there is a spirit and energy that is quite loyal to you. They're helping to rearrange a situation or to help you to get to where you need to go. It's like they're putting you back into the direction that you need to be going down. Or at least they're helping to lead you out of a cycle, is what I just heard. Yeah. Sorry, that was the energy. There's like a formality. What does that even mean? Let's see. Disposed. Okay. You guys might have found that you might have given up on yourself in the past because the way that you had approached something ended up going wrong or didn't go to plan. And if you're sitting here wondering what I'm talking about in particular, it's the thing that has been weighing the most heavy, that makes you the most emotional when you think about it. And if it's a few different things, then so be it. But there is a call here that is asking you to admit to yourself where it is that you still need to commit to growth, is what I just heard, or healing. Both, I guess. You've got a teacher here. They're wanting to connect with you guys. It's like it's a teachery energy. It's a self-reflection energy. It's the feelings of realization and getting closer to your own inner nature through self-analyzation. I'm explaining it to you in this way because it's a much more practical way of me explaining it. The process of what you're going through, which is an awakening, from what I'm feeling here. Nope, I'm wrong. It says other. It's not an awakening. It's just breaking a pattern, a cycle, karma. Yeah, with the fire coming out here. It's a volcano. Fire talks about transformation, through destruction. So yeah, people see you as someone who has gone through something where you've probably had to, you've let go of a whole different complete life that you are no longer living. Like, I don't know, I feel like you feel as though you lost something. You feel like you're lacking future. You're not lacking future. You're lacking direction right now, and you're needing determination. I would suggest that you guys go and do some third eye chakra work. We've already done the detachment. The detachment is becoming aware of it. So there's a trauma, and it's based around having a guilty conscience, which means there needs to be self-analyzation that needs to be done. Once self-analyzation is done, you then know what needs to be done moving forward to recorrect a pattern that you no longer want to be going down because of a way that you were operating with the third eye chakra being here. Anyway, how are people outside of pile number 2 seeing them that they would never tell them? The Chess Queen, trust and strategizing. People see you as someone who is quite to yourself right now. You're more so getting aware of how it is that your inner workings are working together or not working together. So that's like your belief systems, your thoughts, your behaviors, your projections, and your attitudes. You'll find when you break these sorts of things down, you'll be able to analyze them and see how it is that they could be detrimental to positive growth or self-sabotaging. This is how you let go of self-defeating programming. And that's the strategizing that people see that you have been doing or that you have already done. We have the Eagle King, and we also have the Swan Queen, which says transformation, intuition, and patience. And the Eagle King. That's kind of just reconfirming what we were saying, but with the Eagle King as well, you've also been gaining a bigger picture of how it is that the way you were operating has been building in your life or being recreated in your life, and you've been seeing how it hasn't really been building the best possible outcomes that you were hoping for. So believe it or not, this is kind of like a blessing in disguise. With 12 being here, because you were leading yourself down a path that was actually going to be very limited. So now with you gaining a deeper self-awareness, it's almost like you're creating new opportunities for yourself. Authentic purpose. Yeah, that makes more sense. So yeah, you guys are going to actually start building towards a much truer reflection of yourself, if that makes sense, because you're aware of yourself now. You've released the final little attachments that have been stifling your progress. Or what you felt like was like either about a curse or a binding. It wasn't. It was a belief system about yourself that was holding you back from your authentic purpose. You'll know when you've gained a full understanding of what needs to be transformed, because you'll feel a new form of inspiration and you'll feel free, with free will being here in the number 24. You choosing stability within yourself is going to set you free and give you a new direction moving forward, because you're going to see things much more clearly with the maker of destiny. We have the Greys here, number 9. This says timid, misunderstood, and shy. So yeah, you guys might have been a little bit quiet, I would say here. But that's okay. I think it's more like you've been focusing in on yourself, focusing in on your cycles, and becoming aware of what is needed for the new path that you're feeling called towards. If you're not feeling this now, you're going to feel this in the next week to 3 weeks, I would say. With Wise Women of Wonderland being here, 21 reduces down to 3. Okay, so people see you as very honest, being true with yourself. You're very reflective. You know what I'm saying? You're actually very calm as well. People see you as someone who might have actually allowed your curiosity to lead you down different lifestyles or paths. You've probably lived in a lot of different places, or you're very well cultured, very well rounded. You're traveled in some ways. This could be the transformation that people have seen you go through as well. Another thing that people could have been witness to when it comes to you is that they see you and how much transformation you've done within your intuition, with a lot of patience and self-development, a lot of honesty with self, and once again, it's kind of just honesty. Sorry guys, there's a lot of 3s here. I didn't notice that. We have 333 with number 30, 21 and 12. Another angel number is 2112. You guys might benefit going to look more deeply into these numbers, or you might start to see these numbers repeat. If you start to see the number 2112 repeat, this is talking about choices that have been presented to you that you've made, and moving along your choices by making the best out of what you can through the knowledge of self, which has helped you to kind of bring balance to your life again, in a way. But yeah, definitely go and look into 2112. Nephilim, controversial, assessing in new perspectives. It's going to give you a new perspective that will be able to explain to you a whole lot of different things that I can't. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. So for pile number 2, how are people seeing them outside of them, please? They see you as very, very busy. Something that you don't see within yourself that other people see about you, pile number 2, is that you're really, really graceful. You're very compassionate. People see you as very alert as well, but they also see you as someone who has a lot of creative potential. You don't let on to people how much work you actually do. You kind of make things look pretty easy to the world outside of you, you know. With the bat coming out here as well, people see you as a really good listener, and they think that you're quite nocturnal. They think that you're very, what's the word? Emotionally intelligent as well, which makes you stand out. You do stand out from the rest of the people around you. You might feel like your indifferences make you ugly, but no, it doesn't. People actually find them amazing about you, by the way. Like, all your little imperfections, or whatever you want to call it. No, people think they make you look beautiful. They think they make you unique. I don't know, there's been some harsh judgments against yourself that you've held against yourself in the past, but I see that's going to be dropping away, or drifting away, or being healed as you do self-work or gain self-awareness. So with the lizard and tarantula coming out here, people see you as someone who is very highly sensitive within your clairsentience. You could pick up on the subtle energies or emotions, thought patterns, thought waves of other people outside of you. You can also pick up on the hidden truths and hidden talents or skill sets within other people outside of you as well. And you can also sense their underlying discomforts. You might be a healer, a shaman, with the lizard being here as well as the tarantula. If you go and look back in history, especially a lot of native cultures, they use these 2 totems as healing totems, or totems to represent healers. You could be someone who is very well cultured once again, so you can fit into many different sorts of groups or settings of people. You camouflage in quite well to your environments. You're quite intelligent, and once again, both of these totems represent sensitivity altogether, and that's what people kind of see about you. They think you're very psychic, and they think you're very clairsentient or empathic. They think you're very creative, and they think that you do things very effortlessly. Some of you They see you as extremely beautiful, and that's something that they don't tell you or that you don't see about yourself. You create a lot of serenity wherever it is that you go, and you settle a lot of people's minds, and that's something that people don't tell you and that you don't see about yourself, or the effects that you bring when you are balanced. A lot of people see you as someone who is very flexible in your ways. You're very accepting of other people outside of you, and you're someone who is probably quite authentic to your ways of being. I want to say you create with purpose, you create with meaning, and it's like you create who it is that you are and what it is that you do. But anyway, pile number 2, those are the messages that I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope this has come a positive service, and with all that being said, until next time, bye. Hello, pile number 3, welcome to your reading. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Okay, so tapping into your energy, what is it that Spirit would reveal when it comes to what others see within you that you don't see within yourself? And what do I need to know about you? I heard down south. What does that mean? Some of you guys might be taking a trip down south soon, or some of you guys might have moved south from where you once lived. For others of you, this is talking about a pause to things. Have you guys been keeping quiet recently? Have you guys been staying in your own lane? Not really posting, not really involved with people, just like witnessing and watching, because not a lot of people have a lot of opinions. It's very quiet. I heard, are you nesting? We have the swan totem being here and the crow totem. You're to yourself because the world outside of you triggers you. You're learning more about your mystical abilities, and I would say that the world outside of you kind of brings you discomfort as it is. Yeah, you know too much about the subconscious mind of the world around you, and it gives you anxiety. Okay, so I would say that you guys are highly evolved individuals. You're very much to yourself, and you allow the world to come to you. I think you're a divinationist as well. Some of you guys could actually be expanding your craft into crystal readings in the near future. I'd say that you guys are probably mothers, fathers, with the wolf coming out here and the bear. Okay. 2 more minutes. Okay, interesting. So people outside of you, what they see about you that you might not necessarily see about yourself is that you're a good leader. You're someone who's very protective, and you're someone who has probably gone through a lot to get to where it is that you are, or to develop yourself as you are. I would say you're very misunderstood individuals, or at least have come from a past where you've been misunderstood, with the crow and the raccoon being here, as well as the turtle totem. For the otter totem, it came out in reverse. So yeah, once again, I think you guys are very well evolved within your psychic awarenesses. You guys will probably be connected to the collective consciousness, whether you know this actively or not. I think you are the type of people who see why the world is the way that it is when you expose yourself to the world. Like, you give me Heyoka empath vibes. You give me highly evolved self-masters. You give me bosses, well-experienced, someone who is well-evolved, or at least an old soul. I'm getting old soul from the wolf totem here, and I'm getting that you guys could be the leader of a pack. So this could quite literally mean the leader of a company, the head or creator of something that's big, that governs a lot of people. This could even be like someone who has their own creative platform, has their own business, but this could also be a mother or a father of a family. This could be a grandmother or grandfather of a family. And I would say that you guys definitely built yourselves up from nothing. People see that about you. They see where it is that you've come from. They see your value, is what I just heard, where probably in the past you wouldn't have experienced this at all, with the number 18 being here, which reduces down to 9. 8 is all about death and transformation, life cycles. Yes, we're in the year of 8 right now, but 1 is also about the self. So I'd say you've had to learn a lot about yourself. You've gone through a lot of different versions of yourself as well, in a lot of different places, is what I just heard. You've probably been the types of people who would say you've experienced like 10 different lives in one lifetime. When yes, but no, but I think it's more like you've more so caught up on past life wisdom all in one life through short experiences of self-consciousness. Does that make sense? Lifelong desire to collect information. Jupiter in the 3rd house. So yeah, you guys are inspirational leaders, and I think that you guys have probably developed a deep understanding about spirituality that you might be called to share with other people outside of you, because it's going to bring a new form of vitality to collectives of people, or to a family, or to a business. Please mind my nails, they're gross right now. We have supported. Work and service feels burdens, and okay. I see. So I think there might need to be a shift of perspective when it comes to your role. You don't have a role. Pile number 3, you don't have a role. Your role is to be yourself in the ways that you wish to be. You know, that is the role. Whatever career field you find yourself in is not your role. Your role is yourself in what you would call your moral compass, or your core values of self. 3rd eye, visions, manifesting, and meditation. Yeah. So I think you're going to have a lot more self-realizations than what other people outside of you will be having of you. I think you're quite the private person, with 38 being here. And you're more so focusing on building your own future for yourself. You're developing your divination abilities, your mysticism. We have kindness, consideration, and reverence. And then we have the Dragon's Jewel, inner conflict. Yeah, you guys have been working on bringing balance to yourself and advancing yourself. You're in your own lane. This is really interesting. But people outside of you see you as someone who has evolved. I think you already know this. They see you as someone who operates through your 3rd eye. And I just heard they think that you're bold with what you receive, or the information that you hold. Number 23, you create a lot of change around you for the people that are connected to you as well. Because 23 reduces down to 5. 5 is all about change and creativity. It's also about joy, romance, play, and bringing balance to things. But yeah, I think there's not much else I can really tap into. I'm trying to, but once again, I think you're just very private. You're minimalistic as well, I would say here. You're people who like to spend time in your own mind, or delving into the subconscious mind, learning about practices, traditions, histories, learning how to develop yourself in the best possible ways, and learning what it means to take leadership. Cultivating your own forms of abundance in whichever way you deem, or whatever it is that you deem to be valuable. But yeah, I think that's a great thing that you focus in on yourself, pile. Number 3, and as I looked down I saw 838, so that's going to be an angel number message that will hold a little bit more details for you if you wanted to go and look into it. Those are messages I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by, and with all that being said, until next time.